too short, I can't see.
Yeah, there's a studio over there. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
Alright, I'll let you know. Here you go.
Alright. I'll start in 2 more minutes. I'm gonna give some time for people to join.
Like what?
Like that.
Alright.
Wanna shoot? That's crazy.
Test 1, 2, 3 for my recording. Okay, it's all set.
Hey, brothers. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Tired. So yeah, that's it. Wasted.
Wow, it's twice in a day, huh? It's crazy, huh? I guess I saw you, 3 times already? Because one time was at the dance world, and then you had to get off to get food, and then you came back, and that was the second one. And now we're here, which makes it the third time seeing each other.
Yeah, I crashed earlier. My SteamVR just decided to die. That was weird. Not sure what caused it.
Alright, no, I'm kidding.
I think my cable was going bad. I had a good life.
Maybe it's about time you get
New headset.
Yeah, we got a new cable, but I gotta install it, I guess. So.
Wait, what did you put there?
That one probably looks legit, right? You can see that being here.
Oh my god,
This one. Yeah.
the sticker is not loading. Oh no, there it is. Okay, actually, yeah, that's legit.
I don't even burst one.
Oh my god.
No, but
Alright.
let me put this on the wall.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna start in 1 minute. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, let me get rid of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's about practice of public speaking, you know. It's gonna be very interesting.
Internationals. Just kidding, I'm just testing the microphone.
Let me just turn Lux's volume to 0%. Alright, now I'm ready.
What the fuck? The next comedy will be about you then. I'm joking.
I'll be absent from now.
Alright. Hello everybody. Yep. Good timing. About to start. Yep. Hello everybody. So yeah. Hello. Thanks for coming.
Should we be mute while you play this?
Okay, maybe not that close. Like just stay on the seats. But yeah. As for mute or not, to be honest, I would like to hear if you guys are laughing out loud. So it's okay. Keep it on mute. And shout out a little bit. That's fine as well. Just no heckling. Just not too much heckling. Okay. Yeah. But it should be good. And any other normal reaction is fine. But yeah, Good Friday, everybody. You guys have a vacation on Good Friday, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
With this loser.
Sounds like a very good Friday. Okay, that's a very bad pun. Not even a minute already. It's already a bad pun. Anyways, today I want to talk about my vacation on the end of March until early April, as I've been missing in VR for like 2 weeks back then, because I went to Switzerland and France for a family vacation back then. But yeah, it was alright. The vacation is alright. There's a lot of good sceneries, and I see a lot of mountains, lot of hills over there. It's very good. It's very good. But you know, in any other vacation, there is a lot of interesting things happening during the vacation, and hopefully I get to share all of them and you find that amusing. So yeah, let's get started. So I think the first thing I wanna talk about is the, like any other vacation, if you guys went to the, Europe or somewhere far away in other parts of the country, I would say the first day of the vacation is actually one of the most exhausting and interesting one, because from Indonesia going to Switzerland, it took me 10 hours to go there. 2 hours I transit in Singapore, and then 8 hours going to Swiss. So, first day is already exhausting from the flight. And then not even a few hours just after I landed in Switzerland, there is something amusing happening. So the story is me and my family, it was me, mom, little sister, and father. We landed, we take our luggage, and we went through the security customs and stuff like that. Everything went well, like it's a little bit of a queue on the customs. It's a little bit a long time. Everybody's tired, and we are on a tour group, so we want to go to the hotel as fast as possible after we landed in Switzerland. So here's what happened. So the moment we took our luggages, and then the moment we were about to exit the airport, like literally we were about to go outside the airport, suddenly there is this patrol border guard on the door of the exit of the airport, and then the border patrol guard saw my mom, and then he approaches my mom, and then he was like, go to my mom, and he was like, hey, you, show me your passport. And then my mom being like, doesn't really that masterful in English, she was a bit confused, so a little bit like, what is what's this guy doing and stuff like that, right? So it's a bit confused and stuff like that. And then suddenly my tour guide is like, oh, hey, hello, this is part of the tour group and stuff like that. Like, I don't really pay attention to between the conversation between the border patrol and the tour group guide that we have for the vacation. But at one point, my tour group, the patrol border guard asked my tour guide, like, how many are you? Like, are you in a group and stuff like that? And then the tour group guy was like, oh, we have like 20 of us here. And then he showed like there is like 20 people on the tour group, and then I can see it on the border patrol guy. He's like, see, there's like 20 people. Like, he's like, oh shit, because if he's gonna check my mom for like passport and stuff like that, he's gonna check every single one of them, and I think he's like too lazy for it, So he was like, okay, you know what? One last question. Do you bring more than 10,000 euros into Switzerland? And then my mom is like, no. And then the tour guide is like, we all use credit cards here. There's no cash. We are not gonna bring like illegal money inside here. Ha 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 ha. And then he let us go. So that was a very normal conversation, right? Between a patrol border guard with a visitor of a country. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, I'll be real with you. Unfortunately, my mom is a little bit racist. So at the end of that interaction, my mom literally told to the entire family, it's like, fuck that border guard. That border guard is racist. He's racially profiling me and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, look, mom, I understand your frustration, but to be fair to the border patrol guard, you came here with a Louis Vuitton bag, with a Chanel glasses, and a Montclair coat coming here. You literally look like Didi, but instead of smuggling baby oil, you are smuggling $10,000 of euros. Literally. So, so yeah, it's like, not gonna lie, mom, you look kind of sus. So, yeah, and then after that, it all went well. We get into the bus. And it took us 1 hour to get into the hotel that we are staying for that night. So when I reached the hotel, our family member, again, as I said, is mom, dad, and little sister. So there's 4 of us. And as you all probably know, hotels usually came with 2 beds per room. So we're going to split the room into 2 and something like that, right? So without even my input or anything like that, it's just been decided that my little sister wants to sleep with my mom and I gotta sleep with my dad and stuff. And that's the way it's decided. And I was like, like, why do you want to sleep with? I asked my little sister, why do you want to sleep with mom instead of, maybe I should sleep with mom instead? Like, no offense to my dad, but I want a variety, I want sometimes to sleep with mom, I want to sometimes sleep with dad and stuff like that. But my little sister said, no, I don't want to sleep with dad. It's girl time, baby, like that. and then my mom said, huh? Sleeping with you? No, you snore a lot at night, and I cannot sleep when you're snoring. I was like, okay, you know what? and
Oh, damn.
and yeah, okay, like, okay, honestly, that's fair enough. So I understand. And then we separate to our rooms, I sleep with my dad, I sleep with my mom. That was the arrangement for the whole entire trip, for the whole 10 nights of that trip. So it is what it is. Anyways, moving on. The first night is already eventful actually, because you go into the hotel, you unpack your luggage, you open it up, get your bed, you get your t-shirt, short pants, just to be chill, on the hotel room, and then you take a shower, take turns taking shower. And then what I do, when I reach the hotel room, it was like 9 p.m. I just open my phone and start playing gacha games for the rest of the night, until 11 o'clock, kind of thing, But here's the thing. After my turn of shower and after my dad finished the shower, I noticed that turns out during this vacation, my dad bought in his work laptop. It's unfortunate, but I have a dad that really likes to work. Like, if he has nothing to do, he will always work on stuff. Like his actual work, like looking Excel spreadsheets and shit like that. So the moment I saw my dad open his luggage and bring out his computer laptop, and he was about to open it on the bed, I was like, Dad, are you serious? And then Dad was like, huh? What is it? And I was like, you're on vacation for 10 days and you bought your work laptop here and you're gonna work? Nobody is working at this day, at this time. And then Dad was like, and he was like, he knows I'm right. So he was like, okay, you know what? I will not work then. And then he put the laptop back, and then that I was like, geez, Dad, why do you work now? Anyways, I continue playing my gacha games, and my dad was like, okay, now if I cannot work, what do I do? So Dad's gonna watch the TV on the together while I was playing games. My dad beside me is watching the TV on the hotel room. And then as time goes on, as I keep continuing playing my gacha games, I notice my dad starts to get a little bit drowsy. So it's like my dad scrolls his phone, right? So he scrolls the phone like this. And then I notice suddenly his head turns down like this with his eyes closed. So he's like half asleep, right? And then the funny thing is the phone is like fall off from the hand like this, like on the pillow. But his hand is still in the motion of holding the phone, so it's like this while the phone is on the bed. So when I see that, I was like, okay, you know what? Dad is a bit too tired. So I was like, hey Dad, you know what? Let's sleep now. So I was like, go turn off the lights and stuff like that. I was like, all right, good night, Dad. And then Dad is like, all right, good night. And then Dad sleep like this. And then I sleep beside him like this. And then I was like, okay, let's try to sleep. And then suddenly, after a few seconds, I hear like my dad is snoring. Look. I have slept with a lot of people, friends, with family and stuff like that. I honestly can sleep through people snoring as long as the snore is consistent. So when my dad snored like that, like I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe my brain can turn off that sound as background noise, so I will try to sleep through it, And then it kind of worked, It's like after a minute or two, I was like, okay, I'm getting there. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna slowly go to sleep. And then suddenly, what the? it's like very loud. It's like suddenly very loud. I was like, oh my god, it's so loud. And then I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's just once. I'm gonna go sleep again. Oh my! So my dad snored like that, So it's like it's very constant, and then very loud, and then very constant, and then very loud. So I was like, oh my god, am I gonna endure this for 10 days? But luckily, this is not the first time I slept with my dad. So I know my dad snores like this. So here's the thing. I know my dad keeps sleeping like laying up like that. So all I need to do is just gently move my dad to the side, Because if he sleeps like this, the breathing is a little bit clogged up. But if I do it like this, it will free up the breathing inside his mouth, so it's less likely for him to snore. So that's what I did. I tried to push him gently like that. And then I was like, okay, he was like that. I'm gonna go back to sleep now. And then suddenly, again, what the? And then I go back see my dad. He's like 45 degrees. It's not fully 90 degrees, but it's like 45 degrees upwards. So it's like it's going back to clock his breathing again. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I need to put more force into it. So I tried to push my dad again to the 90 degrees. And I'm not being gentle about it, by the way. Like, I know I woke my dad up. It's like, my dad was like, like that, and then he starts adjusting his position to go sideways. And before you said that I'm being rude for waking my dad up, literally, my dad will go back to sleep 10 seconds after that, so don't worry about it. But yeah, that happened for a couple of times until eventually, like, I don't know, around 1 or 2 a.m.-ish, I got too tired. And then eventually, I fell to sleep because I'm too tired. But yeah, that was my first night during my vacation in Switzerland. But anyways, okay. And then but anyways, after that, for the next few days, we just go to a lot of different places, a lot of city. We go visit a couple of the touristy sites in Switzerland, like Chamonix, Ceylon, Evian-les-Bains, Montreux, and Bern, for example. So the next few days, all we did is just go into a location, we take pictures, and we eat, and then we move on to the different city, go back to the hotel, sleep, and repeat for the next few days. But here's the thing, though. Like, during visit to visit, I'll be real with you. To be honest, a little bit about me, I don't really like the vacation is all right. I would say I'm an introvert. People usually go to vacation, especially my mom go to vacation so she can take pictures of her and upload it to social media. I don't upload my pictures on social media, so it was like, I've just been there, see the good scenery. All right, this is very cool. That's it. And I'll be real, it's like, I think the only enjoyment I found when I go on a vacation on like this is try out food, So even though I walk like 20,000 steps, I end up getting more weight because I eat lots of food, try different kind of cuisines in the countries I went to. So yeah, that happened. And by the way, on every single night the snoring thing with my dad, it happened every night. So you can imagine how bad that is. So, but anyway, but here's the thing. I say that the holiday is alright. Like, I'm a little bit indifferent on the places I go, but there is one place I actually look forward to in this holiday, which is going to Mount Jungfraujoch. This is like the one of the second highest peak mountain in Switzerland. So it's like 3,454 meters above sea level. That's 11,500 feet for Americans. And yeah, it's like I'm very excited to go to Mount Jungfraujoch because I think that's gonna be like the highest peak of on Earth that I'll ever be. So I was looking forward to that, you know. So this is like 5 days in, you know, and I don't know. I'm not sure if you see it, but in VR Dancing Discord, I post a photo of me taking a photo in the peak of the mountain there. But yeah, like when I was about to go there, I'll be honest with you, I didn't hike all the way there. It's gonna be taking a long time. There's a little bit of a hack where half of the trip is taking a train into like a checkpoint middle and then taking a little bit of cable car into a little bit higher, and then we do another 2-hour hike, and then there we reach the peak of the mountain. But then, oh no, Lux, you cannot be proud of that. You didn't even hike all the way there. And I'm gonna say, shut up. It was freezing cold, minus 10 degrees there. As a tropical boy, I deserve to be proud for surviving in that kind of cold, you know? Like, it's very cold out there. Like, I want to be proud of that, you know, being 3,400 meters above sea level, and I survived the cold there. It's all good. But anyways, other than that, so at that day when I am in the train on the way going to Jungfraujoch, I was like sitting there like that, you know. I was sitting there just minding my own business, and then my tour guide is beside me, and then my tour guide asked me, "Hey Lux, this is like the peak of this vacation, you know, why aren't you that excited?" And then I was like, "Dude, for the past 4 nights I cannot sleep." And then he's like, "Oh, why you cannot sleep?" And then I said, "You know, my dad keeps snoring at night and I cannot do anything about it." And then my tour guide said, "Oh, you know what? Let me share you an advice, Lux. How about every night, you try to sleep earlier than your dad. You know, if you sleep earlier than your dad and you go into a deep sleep, quote unquote deep sleep, before your dad goes to sleep, I think it's less likely for you to wake up." And then I was like, you know what? Thanks for the advice. I'll think about it. Because I dismissed it at first because, you know, as you can see, on the first night with my dad, if my dad doesn't work, he will immediately get bored watching TV and go to sleep. So it's always him sleeping first. But anyways, I have that advice, so I'm gonna keep it. All right, fast forward a few hours later, we reach at the peak of Mount Jungfraujoch, and on the top there, it's literally everything is snow. It's all rocks and snow, but there is a flat bed of snow that is as wide as a baseball field, I would say. So imagine a baseball pit, but it's just all snow. It's all flat. And then you can see the scenery of the mountains of Switzerland. It's honestly very beautiful. There's glaciers there. The sun is shine bright up there. The weather is perfect. It's good for photos. And then in that snowfield, in the middle of that snowfield, there is a huge pole and there is a flag of Switzerland. And then there is like, you know, a couple of tourists over there, like maybe 50 to 100-ish tourists on the top there. So yeah. And then you know what tourists do when they are in the middle of a snowfield with only one flagpole. Obviously, They take pictures of the scenery, but of course, since the one flagpole of the Switzerland flag is the only thing on top of there, of course, naturally, they want to take picture beside of the flagpole, obviously. So, with that, so what happened is, when we reach up there, after we take the the scenery photos and stuff like that, we noticed there is like a 20 to 30% queue of people queuing to take a picture of the flagpole, you know? So imagine there's a flagpole and then there's a 28% queue beside the flagpole. And then, you know, this is one of the magical things in society where people can take turns taking pictures in the flagpole, and people have the decency to take a picture really fast, like, I don't know, like around 30 seconds, and then people just take turn switching and stuff like that, right? So my mom and my dad came to me, it was like, hey, Lux, come on, let's queue for the flagpole, let's take a picture on the flagpole. So I was like, okay, sure, let's queue on the flagpole. And then we queue on the flagpole. And then around like, we waited for like 20 minutes. We are almost reached to the end of the queue, so it's almost our turn to take a picture. There is this Korean couple in front of us, a couple of people in front of us. They take a picture. They was like, you know, do Korean things like cheese, smile, winky face kind of thing, you know. They take a picture, and then it was a couple. It was a guy and a girl, and then the girl take a picture. The guy took the picture, and then after they finished took picture, the girl go back to the guy and they check the photo. Then we waited for like 10 seconds, and then the girl is like, ooh, that photo is bad, you know, let's take one more. And then, you know, it's like everybody is queuing already, but you know what, maybe they have a bad photo, let's give them one more chance. Like, everybody is a little bit discomforted about that, but let's give them one more chance to take another photo. So the girls go back, the Korean girl go back to the flagpole, take another picture, and then the guy take the shot, and then the girl go back to the guy again, and then the girl is like, oh no, I wink over there. So she go back to the flagpole again, and the guy's gonna take the picture again, and then at that point, like, I can notice everybody that is queuing is annoyed about that, because it's already like 2 minutes they take pictures. It took them for too long of a long time. And then the girl take a picture again, go back, check again. And then the moment she was like, oh, you know what, that is bad. The moment the Korean girl wants to go back to the flagpole again, there is one dude on my tour group that's directly behind me. He was like, what the fuck? We are waiting about here, and we are waiting here. Have some sense. Go back there, and mind you, this dude on the tour group is Indonesian, so he doesn't have the perfect English. So imagine a middle-aged man with broken English, like, what the fuck? We are waiting. Get back there. Oh my god. It's our turn. Like that, like very simple phrases and stuff like that. And then I think the Korean couple noticed, is like, oh shit, okay, we are taking too much time. And then as they walk off the queue, you know, like, they had plenty of chances to take pictures, so they left, right? They left with like with the head down. I think they know they did something wrong. They did an inconsiderate thing, and they did something wrong, so they walk off there. And then this dude that was mad, it was like, yeah, that's right, go, like that. and then legit this dude in my tour group, after he said that to that Korean couple, he faced to the rest of the people on the line, which includes me, my family, and the other people that is queuing, and other tourists from all around the country. He faced them and he was like, yeah, I am doing it for you. And then everybody was like, yeah, let's go, woo, like that. So yeah, that's an amusing thing happening. All right, so we continue queuing in the front of the flagpole, and then it's our turn to take a picture now. So me, my mom, my little sister, my dad is, you know, like in position in front of the flagpole, and then the person who's taking the picture for us is our tour guide. I'm not sure what happened, but behind the tour guide, there is a little bit of an argument. So there is this Indian dude that was behind us for the whole time, and then there is this and then there's this Thai person, and I know this person is Thai because they are a fanboy. so it's like, there's this Indian dude. He was like I'm not sure how it started, but there is an argument behind the tour guide, my tour guide that is taking the picture, and then I think what happened is the Thai person is the head of the tour of another tour group, and they're on a rush, so they want to try to cut the line. So that's a disrespectful thing to do. It's not good. It's not okay. So this Indian dude that was like next in line after we take a picture of us is like very mad. It's like, no, you cannot just cut the line. Wait at the back and stuff like that, right? And then my as my tour guide is taking a picture of us in front of the flagpole, I can notice that like he keeps looking back. He's a little bit uncomfortable with the commotion behind him. And then at one point, as he's taking a picture, the Indian dude shoved the Thai person, like he shoved him. And then the Thai person was like, hey, don't touch me. Hey, don't touch me. And then everybody was like, whoa, chill. And then try to split them off, right? And then my tour guide it's literally directly behind my tour guide. And then my tour guide is like, all right, say cheese while saying it in a more discomfort tone. It's like, I would describe it like this. My tour guide with the chaos behind it is like that dog meme when the house is on fire. It's literally him there. It's like, this is fine, just continue taking the picture. There's nothing going on behind me and stuff like that. But anyways, at the end of the day, the Thai person yielded. And yeah, there was the chaos of queuing to take a picture in front of a flagpole in the peak of Mount Jungfrau. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. But oh well, it is what it is. That happened. All right. Okay, another thing that I think it's interesting happening in my vacation is, as I said, I went to Swiss and I went to France. So now we have reached to the point where it's the second half of the vacation, which is in France. I've spent a few days in Paris. And one of the things that we do in Paris, there is this place in Paris called the Galeries Lafayette. It's literally like, I think there's a Galeries Lafayette. I believe there's a Galeries Lafayette in New York. It's basically the same thing. It's pretty much a shopping mall with a lot of high-profile brands like, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, Giorgio Armani, Hermès, something like that. And by the way, if you don't know any of these brands, don't worry. It's not on our tax bracket. It's not like we are the CEO of United Healthcare. So it's very high profile brands. Like if you don't know these brands, don't worry about it. But anyways, it's basically high profile brands. My point is, it's a shopping mall full of luxury brands. Yeah, and we were there. It's part of the tour guide, everybody likes to shopping in my group and stuff like that. And my mom likes to buy some high profile goods as well. So there's this one moment where we went into a Louis Vuitton shop. Like in one of the vendors inside this shopping mall is a Louis Vuitton. And then the entire family go inside the Louis Vuitton shop. I look around the bags, like it's not for me, so I'm just there vibing, chilling, while my mom and my little sister, doing girl things, which is look at which bags they want. Like, ooh, this bag is pretty. Oh no, this bag is not good. Oh, look at those shoes and stuff like that. Doing typical shopping things. And then at one point, I think they catch this one blue bag. Like imagine like the bag that you put on your shoulder, and then the bag is like this big, around this big. It's like a small bag. It's a small bag that should only carry a phone and a wallet. And then my mom and my little sister is interested on buying it. And then they both approached to me. And they were like, hey, Lux, what do you think about this bag? And then I was like, all right, this bag is pretty cute. And then I look at it for a bit. Yeah, I mean, that's fine for a bag. If you like it, I guess it's fine. And then I open the bag. I look at the price tag. I was silent for like 10 seconds. Okay, does anybody want to guess what's the price of a Louis Vuitton bag that is that small?
5,000?
45, yeah.
Anybody?
500 euros.
5,000 euro.
5,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo.
Damn.
5,000 euro is like half of my yearly salary, bro. So, so I was looking at that. I was like, oh my god, are we seriously gonna buy something like this? Like just a bag that's like 3 valve indexes, bro. Are we seriously gonna buy this? So I was like, close the bag, and then I gave it back to my mom. And then here's the thing, like my mom is a compulsive buyer. I'll just be real. Like my mom is a compulsive buyer. So I think she asked me as a voice of reason if she should buy it or not. So she wants my opinion. And my opinion is, of course, I don't think it's a good idea to buy a bag that expensive, not gonna lie. I mean, it's still my mom's money, but if my mom wants my opinion, I'm leaning to not buying it because that is a very expensive bag. But anyways, I'm gonna share you something. I'm gonna share you guys a trick on how to persuade your parents to not buy something that is too expensive. You shouldn't say it directly. You shouldn't say it like, oh my god, this bag is expensive. Like, come on, mom, it's not worth it. This is not good. Because it's like a direct attack to your parents. I'll show you how I have managed to persuade my mom to not buy that 5,000 euro bag. So I literally told my mom like this. It's 2 steps. The first step is, Mom, are you sure you want to buy this bag? And my mom is like, yeah, I kind of like it. Your little sister like it. And then I was like, you see, Mom, next year I want to go to university, and maybe in 3 or 4 years, maybe I'll make a business sometime, So I think this money would be helpful in the future, maybe, right? Like, and then my mom is like, but your university is way more expensive than this bag. And then I was like, but still, that money will help on my university, right? So I'm trying to gaslight my mom by saying, hey, think about your children, maybe maybe your children want to go to university later and stuff like that. And then step 2, you just leave. So your mom or your dad don't try to bargain with you. So after I said it, I was like, okay, mom, at the end of the day, it's your money, but I'm gonna go to the toilet now. So yeah, I'll catch you in 5 minutes. And and I went to the toilet. Took a few minutes because the crazy thing, we were on the ground floor. The toilet's on the 6th floor. So I have to go to the 6th floor, go to the toilet, and then go back down. And then the moment I reached back down, they were not on the Louis Vuitton shop anymore. So I was like, wait, where are you? And then they were like, oh, we are near the Prada shop now. So I went to the Prada shop, and then we see each other again. I was like, hey, so do you guys at the end buy that bag? And then my little sister stared at me. My little sister stared at me, and my little sister, your mom loves you, That means I have managed to convince my mom to not buy that bag by gaslighting her. So yeah, oh my god, amazing. Yep. But everything there is, to be honest, is overpriced for me. But at the end of the day, I think we bought like 8 macaroons for 30 euro, which is quite expensive. But you know what? I'm not gonna complain because we don't end up spend $5,000 on that freaking bag. So, oh well, it's a win for me. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on the last few nights, I kind of forget which exact night this is, but I still remember this one night. It's like me and my dad again, like we were just chilling at 10 o'clock at night. We were just chilling on the bed, doing our own thing, and then we turn on the TV. And then we tune into the BBC, and then in BBC, there's this orange man on the TV. And then this orange man said, starting tomorrow, we will be starting implementing reciprocal tariffs on other nation. and then I was like, oh shit. So President Donald Trump gonna do some tariffs. And then at first, I was like, I mean, what's the worst it can do? It's probably gonna be China again. And then until Trump put the board up there again. You know that tariff board that he has on the news? Like he brings that up. I was like, oh shit, there's Southeast Asia country. And then I was like, okay, China's tariff, all right, that's a pretty high tariff. And then there's Europe, okay, Europe is tariff as well because Trump doesn't really like Europe, so oh well, that's fine. Vietnam has a 60%, 20% tariff. I mean, Vietnam is a very huge exporter of stuff in Southeast Asia, so that's understandable. And then Japan there, and then Korea is there, and then Indonesia is there. I was like, wait, what? Indonesia is there? And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, Indonesia, tariff 32%. And then the moment me and my dad saw Indonesia on the list on that board, I look at my dad for 1 minute. My dad looked at me for 1 minute. And then my dad is like, without saying a word, he get up, took his computer, and then gonna open it. So he's about to go to work. He's about to work after seeing that news. So and then I was like, you know what? My dad works in a ceramic company. He exports a lot of stuff to the US. So I think this is important to him. So I'm gonna let him work, and like that, right? And then me, after seeing that news, I was like, damn, this is gonna be bad for stock market. So I opened my phone app. I wanna check the stock market in Indonesia. And unfortunately, at that time, it was holiday. So they were like, so it's like you cannot buy and sell anyway. There's no data. So I was like, okay, you know what? I will check back this later. And then at that moment, I realized, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. My dad is working right now. I know if my dad is working, he will keep working until around 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. Now it's 10 p.m. And then I remember what my tour guide told me. Hey, Lux, you should sleep earlier so you're in a deep sleep, so you're not disturbed and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give that advice a try. So at 10 p.m., I was like, I didn't shut off all the lights, like only half the lights. And then I tried to sleep. And then, you know what? My tour guide is right. The moment I fell asleep, I have a solid 8 hours sleep. I'm not disturbed by my dad's snoring. I was like, what the fuck? It actually worked? Holy shit. Oh my god, why didn't I listen to that? And then, wow, that's crazy. But it's a bit too late, to be honest. I think it's like the second or third night. So I only have a good solid sleep at the fourth last of the trip. And yeah, that's what happened. And then another thing that we do in Paris is we went to the base of Eiffel Tower. And unfortunately, this is just the reality. Unfortunately, Paris is filled with scammers. Filled with scammers, especially in the touristy spots in the Eiffel Tower. So there's this one scam. I'm gonna tell you about this one scam first to just give you the context, right? So there's this one scam. There's this one game. You know how that 3 cup and 1 ball below the cup, and then you try to mix the cup, and you have to guess which cup the ball is at. Basically, like that party trick, that game, the swapping balls between 3 cups. It's basically that game, but the scam is you invite people to play that game, and then if you win by guessing the correct cup where the ball is at, you win double the money. So if somebody pays 50 euros, if they win, they get 100 euros back. But if they don't, they lose 50 euros. So the way this scam works is, it's actually not a one-person scam, it's actually a group scam. So there's one person that is like the game master or the vendor, and he does the mixing the ball, and then he has his friends that is acting as a tourist play with him. So the friend is like, and then there's a few friends. It's like, all right, here's 50, and then they play the game, and then they won. Oh shit, I got 100. Let's go. And then another friend is like, oh okay, here's 50, and then play a game. And then they lose. Oh no, we lost. And then another friend play again, another 50. And then they win again. Let's go. Basically, the scam is they're trying to play among each other to make it like a normal game. So the tourists and the people that is not on that group try to play the game will get scammed. Because the moment if another person try to play that game, they will do the quick swap trick and try to distract them to make them guess the wrong ball, the wrong cup. So that's how the scam works. So me and my dad was at the base of Eiffel Tower, and we saw that kind of scam. And then we tried to play a game among ourselves, like there's a group of people, there's that person that played the scam game, and there's a few people on the surrounding it that plays the game, and we were trying to guess. We make a game amongst ourselves. We're trying to guess who among these players are actually friends with the scammer, and who are the genuine tourists that is about to befall from the scam. So we observe this one group. There's one game master, and there's like 7 people surrounding this game scammer. And then we saw it. Like one person bet 50, and then he won 100. And then somebody bet 50, and then he lost. And then another one, bet 50, and then they won. And then there's another girl, bet 50, and then she lost, and stuff like that. So we are trying to guess, like, out of these 7 people that is surrounding the game master, which one is a genuine player and which one is the friends with the scammer. So I was like, with my dad, I think this Indian girl over there is their friend. And then my dad is like, I think this Italian person is the friends with the scammer. I think that one is genuine. I think that British people there, that British person there is scammed. So as we observe that group of scammer, I think I noticed one of the players of that group saw me and my dad observing like this on the sidelines, and then he was like looking back at me a bit. I look back at the scammer, like just observing, and then he is like, and then the scammer, the friend scammer that is playing along, he literally went to the game master. He took away the mat, he took away the ball, and he was like, let's go. And then the whole group of 7 people dispersed. They out. So the crazy thing is, turns out everybody in that game was a scammer. So I was like, shit, I thought it's gonna be like 3 people, and there's 4 people that's about to be scammed, but okay, turns out it's everybody, and I guess they notice us. They know that we noticed their gig, and then they dispersed. And yeah, that's another interesting thing that happened in Paris. But okay, anyways, we are about to reach the end of my trip, so I went to the France airport. I forgot the name of the airport, but the international airport in France, and then we we have the home flight at Sunday. But since returning from France to Indonesia is fast forwarding time, that means I arrive back in Indonesia at in the afternoon, like around 4 p.m. Right? So I still remember the moment I landed in Indonesia. I was like, finally at home. And then we took our luggage. We do the we do the border security thing. Have our visa checked out again, and have our passport checked out and stuff like that. And then we exit the airport, and then we get a taxi. And then I still remember in the taxi, I sit on the front row seat on the taxi, and then just vibing on the taxi. And just on the way home, it took us 1 hour from the airport to go back home. But I still remember somewhere along the way, the radio of the taxi is playing, and then I was not really paying attention to what the radio is saying, but I was daydreaming, looking outside the window, right? But then at one point, there's a phrase that catches me. There's this newscaster on the radio, and the newscaster said something about President Donald Trump has imposed tariff and blah, blah, blah. And then there was like, and that's the moment where I was like, I remember I was like, all right, the tariff thing is going to impact me. And then I was like, right, now I'm back in Indonesia. It's on a Tuesday. The stock market should open, right? And then I opened the app, and then my heart sank. I lost 20% of my portfolio. Yikes. And then I looked back at my mom, and then I was like, Mom, I just lost 20% the stock market. Should I sell? Because it's going down? And then my mom is like, your stocks is S&P 500. Come on, it's okay. Just hold it in. It will stabilize eventually. Like, I know it looks bad, but if there's one thing that I can trust about my mom that is wearing Moncler coat, Louis Vuitton bag, and a Chanel glasses, is I should trust her financial advice. So I didn't sell. And luckily, it has stabilized since then until now. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy it. Woo!